life. Animals could be bred and slaughtered.
Now I am become death, destroyer of worlds.
-1 minute. Put on your goggles. Observers without goggles must face away from the blast.
One plane, one bomb, one city. One plane, one bomb, one city. One plane, one bomb, one city. One plane, one bomb, one city.
Fallout from atomic explosions. Every nuclear or thermonuclear bomb throws into the air a large cloud of radioactive particles. These man-made radioisotopes remain aloft for varying periods of time, but most of them eventually return to Earth. It is this return which is known as fallout. -10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now I am become death, destroyer of worlds. Now I am become death, destroyer of worlds. One plane, one bomb, one city. One plane, one bomb, one city. One plane, one bomb, one city. One plane, one bomb, one city.
Fallout from atomic explosions. Every nuclear or thermonuclear bomb throws into the air a large cloud of radioactive particles. These man-made radioisotopes remain aloft for varying periods of time, but most of them eventually return to Earth. It is this return which is known as fallout. -10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Animals could be bred and slaughtered.
Live. What's my... We are live. I think I was having some mic issues. I don't know what was going on with my thing. I must have hit a button. But anyways, we got a bunch of weird shit going on, and we are here to talk about that. So we went a little rabbit hole with this whole Tulsi Gabbard thing, like last episode.
We did go down a little bit of a rabbit hole.
And there's more to it. So her brother has recently got arrested. And his name is Batari or Bhakti Gabbard. He's a 55-year-old brother of Tulsi Gabbard who was arrested and charged with second-degree custodial interference after allegedly approaching children at a Waikiki hotel pool, offering them money and chewing gum and inviting them to his hotel room. So police have stated that he approached a 9-year-old boy and other children at a hotel pool at Honolulu and offered cash and gum and then asked them to come to his room. The witnesses reported that he asked the children for their names and wrote them down in a notebook. So hopefully he doesn't have the Death Note book. It's an anime reference for the normies out there. The children refused the offers and he walked away, so no children were harmed. Now, Bhakti Gabbard was claiming to be Jim Morrison Jr. during the mental health crisis leading up to his arrest. So according to a public statement released by his parents, the Hawaii State Senator Mike Gabbard and Carol Gabbard, Bhakti was experiencing severe substance-induced psychotic delusions. He believed that he was a rock star, which led him to take on the persona. And during this episode, he renamed himself both Bhaktari T and Jim Morrison Jr. His family and wife reported that these identity claims coincided with other extreme behaviors, including giving his car away to a homeless person, losing his ID and phone, and then sleeping on the streets after being asked to leave his home. So family members took him to a hospital emergency room for a psychiatric evaluation, and he was subsequently admitted for medical monitoring at a 72-hour hold. Now, was Mike Gabbard involved in MK Ultra? So that's rumors been going around the internet. And no, he was never involved in Project MK Ultra. There's no historical or factual connection between the Hawaii State Senator Mike Gabbard and the CIA's Cold War era mind control program. The association between Gabbard's name and MK Ultra seems entirely from political headlines involving his daughter Tulsi Gabbard during her tenure as the Director of National Intelligence. Well, was Jim Morrison's father involved in MK Ultra? So, no, Jim Morrison's father was never involved in the Project MK Ultra. There's no historical evidence linking the Rear Admiral George Stephen Morrison to the CIA's mind control program. The connection between Jim Morrison's father and the CIA is a popular internet conspiracy theory centered on the 1960s counterculture movement. The root of the conspiracy theory was the Laurel Canyon, thing, where well-known alternative...
Like Frank Zappa's dad was part of that, wasn't he?
I think so. We'll have to look into that another time. I didn't pull that up on this, but a well-known alternative theory popularized by author David McGowan suggested the 1960s music scene in Laurel Canyon, Los Angeles was a military intelligence operation designed to hijack and neutralize the anti-war movement. So proponents of this theory point out that many rock icons of that era had parents highly placed in the military intelligence or, those kind of situations. Jim Morrison's father is the primary example used to fuel this narrative. So Admiral Morrison was the commander of U.S. naval forces during the 1964 Gulf of Tonkin incident, which is a critical event used to justify the escalation to the Vietnam War. Because that, some people say is a false flag operation that we needed to enter the war. So because Jim Morrison's father played a massive role in that conventional military complex while his son became the anti-establishment icon, conspiracy theorists frequently try and tie the Admiral to other covert programs of that era like MK Ultra despite the complete lack of evidence. And now we got Eleanor Ellie Moon, a season 4 finalist on the internet reality series Fish Tank. She died by suicide at the age of 19. Her family kept her passing private initially, but then her sister publicly confirmed the news to address online speculation and rumors. Now, Ellie competed as one of the youngest contestants in Season 4 Fish Tank, which ended early on day 18. She and other finalists had received an $8,000 cash prize. Addressing online discussions, users on Reddit shared mixed opinions regarding the environment of the show and the producers. However, Ellie's sister explicitly stated that the production team and the show had nothing to do with her death. Now, her family noted that Ellie considered her time at the show a major highlight of her life, but she had previously battled mental health struggles and suicidal ideation since childhood. Seattle's most famous mutant resident, the raccoon who twisted spine and set internet ablaze, has emerged from the shadows to surprise the suburban backyard. So the viral sensation Jimothy, as he's been named by the adoring public, was spotted by locals in a backyard as he drank water from a bowl. Now, online fans were quick to praise the little creature. Even the Washington State's Governor Bob Ferguson is obsessed with the creature, officially crowning this mysterious animal as the Washingtonian of the day around 2 weeks ago, fueling global frenzy surrounding Jimothy. Now, Seattle residents have been documenting his whereabouts on the internet for the last few months, and now Jimothy mania is exploding in the cities. Now, homeowners couldn't believe their eyes when they saw the legendary Jimothy as he scurried into view on their anniversary. So they were saying that for their 13th anniversary, they were graced by the presence of Jimothy the raccoon with a short spine syndrome. I guess that's what it's called. So they're saying, "Praise Jimothy." They screamed in a viral Instagram clip showing the deformed critter scaling stone stairs with supernatural speed. A local glass studio is cashing in on the fame, hawking handcrafted figurines of the four-legged freak and at a staggering $125 a pop. Now, the Seattle glass-blowing studio claims that these pricey trinkets are the only way to own a piece of the internet legend via glass sculpture. But there are dark secrets behind the cuteness. While not officially diagnosed, experts believe that he has the short spine syndrome, a rare condition that shrinks the body into a compact ball of fur. Experts told the California Post that his internet-famous deformity is actually a death sentence, leaving him defenseless against bloodthirsty predators. So if he doesn't have the flexibility and agility to move away from predators, This could turn out to be a tragic story, warned Cornell University's Brian Collins. Now, this is what I mean by becoming your own local cryptid. You can become famous and you can create a tourism industry around your hometown. And there
You
even
just need some deformity. There you
yeah,
go.
yeah, and there's even like some speculation that there might be a family of mutant raccoons with this shortened spine syndrome, because there's so many sightings of Jimothy that they're thinking that he just can't be one raccoon. There's got to be a whole bunch of them.
That's what I heard too. That they think there's like multiple of these like deformed raccoons running around
Yeah, because
Seattle.
they're like I guess they're trying to track him. They're like, there's no way he could be everywhere, or there's just so many places like you can't be moving that fast around the town.
Which would also bring up an interesting case. Like, if this condition is so rare and there's like multiple of these raccoons around Seattle, what's going on?
I would have to say there's probably an environmental factor causing it. That's my best guess.
Kind of like how like years ago we had all those frogs with like multiple back legs.
Wasn't there some being born with translucent skin, so they're calling them glass frogs because you can see their guts and shit?
That's an actual species.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a mutation, that they were just being born without pigmentation.
No, there's like an actual like tree frog with like translucent skin where you can see all the way through.
Okay, that's pretty wild though, even though that's not a mutation. So there's a woman known in court papers as MR, quote, and she never much liked going to the Dollar General stores, so she found them cluttered and chaotic with too few staff on duty and too many strange people roaming the aisles for comfort. But early December of 2023, she went away because she was planning a promotional photo shoot for her doggy daycare business in Houston and wanted some cheap Christmas props, reindeer ears, and Santa hats to put on her dog. So she and a friend picked one out at the few Dollar Trees in an affluent neighborhood and arrived early, thinking they would be in and out quickly enough. Well, as she walked the aisles, MR said in an interview that she sensed a man standing too close behind her. And she turned to confront the man and noticed that he was a good 6 inches taller than her, and he was talking in graphic detail about sexual things he wanted to do to her. She told him that you're so disgusting, get away from me. And then she tried to hurry off to find her friend, but he still stayed close behind her. And for a few tense moments, the two of them locked eyes while she waited in line to pay. But at last he left, and she thought that was the end of the encounter, until back out in the chill of the winter morning, she felt something cold up against her, the back of her leggings. The men had ejaculated on her. So yeah, so she said that she didn't know how to react and she wanted to kill the man. And she said that she was 47 at the time. So recalling the horror and helplessness that she felt as her friend wiped her off with towels, the Guardian has verified her identity, but it's not publishing her full name to protect her privacy. So hours later, on the advice of a sister who worked in law enforcement, she fished her soiled leggings out of the garbage and took them back to the store to report what happened. The clerk listened to her account and, not seeming to realize that she understood Spanish, shouted to a colleague in the back room saying, "Tenemos otra." So they were saying that he got another one.
Oh my God.
So
he's a serial jack offer.
Yeah, so over the next several weeks and months, she would learn that not only had there been reports of similar incidents at that same store and location within that time frame, one that had been shared on social media, and at least one other she heard about antecedently from a shopping center employees, but that masturbating in front of the female customers at branches of Dollar Tree was fast becoming a national phenomenon, a disturbing new form of sexual assault that men were documenting and bragging about in the dark corners of the internet. It even came with its own specialized vocabulary. So the masturbating in public and the superstitiously ejaculating on the random women was known as tagging or sharking, or even cum sharking, on online forums praising the perpetrators for having low inhibition or low inhib, and users contributing to the discussion saying they wish they could summon the same fearlessness in themselves. So Dollar Tree has cropped up again as a favorite location for such attacks, according to research conducted by her lawyers and corroborated by police and media reports. So what perpetrators have not spelled out the reasons why, their choice appears connected with the same problems that made her hesitant to shop at Dollar Tree in the first place, and have led over the years to tense federal government scrutiny, millions of dollars in fines, inadequate safety and security, understaffing on the premises, and disorganized aisles filled with unopened boxes that offer shoplifters and other criminals ample opportunity to hang out. So in a statement to The Guardian, the Dollar Tree did not address the specifics of what happened to her, but it said it committed maintaining a safe and secure environment for its staff, customers, and visitors. And they said that we take reports of inappropriate, unlawful, and harassing behavior in our stores extremely seriously. A spokeswoman had said, and the incident of the nature is unacceptable. And they became aware of criminal activity and they cooperate fully with law enforcement to support their investigations. So as soon as she talked to a local TV station in Houston area about her story, she and her lawyers heard many similar ones about via social media or directly from women who recognized what she was talking about, wanted legal representation on their own. So she's saying this happened in November last year, and one woman wrote to Twitter saying the same store and location that the woman had previously posted images also on Twitter of a man that she followed her out of the Dollar Tree in the Houston's River Oaks Shopping Center. And he ejaculated in front of her in the parking lot. Attempts by the Guardian to reach the woman were unsuccessful. The back of a man in the parking lot with the caption, got followed to the store by this man, and he just whips his shit out and ejaculated, while staring me down. Woman's Instagram post also about a man who allegedly sexually assaulted her in the Dollar Tree location in Houston was also shared on Twitter. And their username was @soakedrice/X. So Mr. MR's lawyers, Anna Greenberg and Ed Blizzard, were soon handling cases in the Colorado Springs, San Diego, and Miami areas, collecting police and media reports of more than 12 similar instances at Dollar Tree and its former sister chain Family Dollar going back to 2017. In some cases, the victims were out shopping with their young children, and one perpetrator freshly hired staff's sheriff deputy. Another was a Dollar Tree employee. So they're saying that they just can't believe how big a scale this operation is. Almost immediately, the lawyers had stumbled upon another weird dimension of the case where they're developing an online subculture of lonely, disaffected men known as gooners, who bond with each other over their shared fascination with obsessive masturbation and compete with each other to see who can keep going for hours or even days at a time.
Oh my God.
So while most of these gooners, a peer who was caught filming himself while masturbating at Dollar Tree in Fern Oak, Florida, told police that he did this regularly, but at different locations, and uploaded the videos to an OnlyFans page, according to his arrest report. So her lawyers believe this constitutes as a new frontier in sexual assault, with Cecilia Pruitt, a counsel to the legal team, who describes the gamification of sexual abuse perpetuated by and encouraged by isolated men who pull their anger towards women on online forums. It's a view broadly shared by criminologists, sociologists who study the intersection between human sexuality and crime. Either they note a similar wave of sharking attacks in Japan almost 15 years ago that attracted online audience before subsiding again. So they're saying that masturbating over someone in public is done in film for the purpose of humiliating women and also receiving attention and accolades from other men. Michael Happen, the sociologist from the Dalhousie University in Canada, had also studied the relationship between the male incel culture and gender-based crime. The community applauds it, supports, and uplifts it, what they call more acts for it. So it illustrative shows a young boy sitting in a pill surrounded by text taken from internet forums, money, muscles, and anxiety, why the manosphere clicked with young men of deep visual dive. Haplin and other researchers say the misogyny is not restricted to people who are involuntarily celibate, but also extend to a broader community of men who are fueled by a combination of unfulfilled sexual desire, easy access to pornography, and a lower of attention-seeking economy. Fame, celebrity status are held up by many people as the ultimate form of success, more than with wealth. And a University of Alabama criminologist said to some fringe individuals, this is a form of provocative behavior, no matter how distasteful, can be seen as a ticket to their own form of attention that they're seeking. The degradation may even be to the point that a psychoanalyst who also taught at the New York School, a dollar store is the most abject place where people who are already at the bottom go. And they can't afford anything else. So this is like some new way of trying to get a layup on the lowest rung of the ladder you can fall down. And how to make $1 on people who are already only have $1 to their name. So there's something about what this feels so sad and tragic. The acts themselves, public masturbation, ejaculating on strangers, long predates the internet, as does their place in the underbelly of popular culture. Jeffrey Dahmer had a history of indecent exposure before he became a serial killer, including an arrest in 1986 for masturbating in front of two 12-year-old boys in Wisconsin. And both the book and film Silence of the Lambs Prisoner, housed next to Thomas Harris' fictional serial killer Hannibal Lecter, flings his semen to FBI agent Clarice Starling in an effort to sexualize and humiliate her. So this is what's changed in the digital age, is the accessibility of the material apt to arouse people in the most anodyne of settings, such as a traffic intersection or the Dollar General store. So long before it developed association with criminal acts, gooning was understood to be a pornography-fueled compulsion, sometimes involving multiple screens at once that can be a substitute for intimate relationships with others. It also tends to come with a heavy dose of self-loathing. Experts say the online forums and videos that can become a substitute for intimate relationships with others. It also comes with a heavy dose of self-loathing. And the content aimed at gooners often sends the messages that obsessive masturbation, whether alone or in public, is much as men like to aspire to in life. They described it as a disavowed manic state of triumph over something hideous. A common trope of these pornography that these gooners consume as men ejaculate over women's bodies, face, and hair, acts that have no basis in evolutionary biology and are difficult to interpret as anything other than demeaning to women. The Dollar Tree assaults essentially bring these elements together, turning a criminal act into a combination of a dare and a misogynistic joke. And that's pretty cool. Read one of the comments on an incel forum in response to a 2018 shorting video. The video has then since been taken down, and how did he not get caught? Reads another. So this phenomenon appears to be growing, unfortunately. I also like to blame Twitch, because Twitch and Kick streamers also cater to the gooner crowd.
Yeah, we see that with the Pokemon and all those other horror tubers pretty much. I don't even know how to describe them other than that, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to process this. I didn't think it was a phenomenon this bad, but hey, just a year ago there was a dude who was going through a bikini coffee line in Phoenix, Arizona with his pants down, and they...
What?
Yeah, we covered it last year. So his name was Nautica Malone, and he was I don't know if he was active duty, but he was a veteran. He was a married man. He had kids at home, and he would drive through this coffee place with his pants down and his dick out. And they actually caught him on tape. It went viral on TikTok, and he killed himself. And so they actually had a gooner roll for the guy. A bunch of gooner rolls came out and were protesting his death. And then this year, I think, was it last month, they had a gooniversary. So the guys came back out and honored the memory of his death, a year later.
Gooniversary? Oh my God.
Yeah, this was a whole bunch of gooners.
I hate these people so much.
Yeah, we got a clip of it. I didn't put it on this week's commercial break, but I think got a couple episodes ago. You can catch that clip. A New Jersey man is facing several charges after a 2-year-old boy is allegedly overdosed on cocaine during a trip to the Jersey shores. So according to a report from the New Jersey 101.5, 39-year-old Alexandra Moles was staying at an Airbnb in Wildwood with women and children when the indecent incident occurred on July 20th. Court documents state that on that day, he was responsible for watching the children while the woman took a shower. So when the woman got out of the shower, she noticed her 2-year-old was looking a little sleepy, and they decided to drive the boy to the hospital, saying the child was having difficulty breathing. He later told police he believed he ingested painkillers. On the way to the hospital, he called the woman to tell her that the boy was falling asleep, and then he called 911. EMS gave the boy 2 doses of naloxone, which the child reportedly responded to. The boy was taken to Cooper University Hospital Care Regional for further treatment. According to the Cape May County Prosecutor's Office, the boy's preliminary blood test came back positive for cocaine. Then the authorities searched his room, and they found pieces of a pill, several tinfoil packets labeled tapentadinol hydrochloride, and then, which is a narcotic pain medication, a clear plastic bag with white powdery substance inside. Moles was arrested and charged with endangering the welfare of a child, possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of prescription legalized drugs, as well as disorderly person offense. He was booked in the Cape May Correctional Facility, has since been released or without conditions. So the Middlesex County Police Department used an officer disguised as a shrub to crack down on distracted driving on Wednesday, issuing 74 citations. The Dunedin Police Department conducted a distracted driving enforcement operation on the 100 block of North Washington Avenue, an area with heavy vehicle and pedestrian traffic, according to a Facebook post. The goal was to enforce New Jersey's handheld cell phone law and increase safety in community. So I'm kind of wondering how many false reports of Bigfoot sightings this caused. But like, I don't know how people are still on their phones while they're driving, because you can just plug your stuff into your car through a dongle and you can just talk to people that hands free. I don't see how that's still a thing, man.
Yeah, I mean, like if I get a call like while driving, I just like switch it to speakerphone and just talk on that. I'll just set a playlist before I start driving, hook it up to the aux, or even like my car's old, so I still have an aux cable. But like you can do Bluetooth with your cars and all that. So I don't know why people
I don't get
driving
it,
so
man.
distracted.
It's not like a new technology. I think it's been around like 10 years.
Yeah, unless they're like checking out the reels while they drive and all that.
Oh, that's different though. So haunting images of one robot have spread across the internet like wildfire. There's a much more under the armor of Three Halves, a 7 foot tall, four-legged superhumanoid robot with the body of a centaur, the head of a bull, no hands, and glowing eyes. So the Satyr S is the name of the company. It's a robotic startup based in Auburn, California, developing Three Halves, a prototype robot which aims to change the way humans tackle wildfires and disaster zones through forestry operations. Yet its life-saving mission isn't what it's fueling its viral rise online. The company describes Three Halves as a superhumanoid general robot with the body of a centaur, the head of a bull, signature horns, and a haunting gaze that captivated million people online. So if you spot a chainsaw wielding 7 foot tall, four-legged centaur robot with horns on its head in the woods, you might be in trouble. Not because you're its prey, but because the Satyr S envisions deploying this humanoid as some of the world's toughest work environments. So
I still don't understand like why they gave it such like
yeah,
a demonic looking
why did it
head.
need horns? It could have done all of that without the horns.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some occult shit tied to this, you know, even with the name Satyr, you know, maybe that's like a signature. So while its appearance may seem otherworldly, developers envision Three Halves on the front lines of wildfire responses and other dangerous operations. But if things ever go sideways, they've included instructions on how to kill the Robo Beast. So the idea that
they gave instructions on how to kill it? What the hell? Wait, excuse me? They don't even have faith in this thing.
I guess just in case something goes bad, you can take it out.
Hey, we know we made our robot demonic, and we swear it's for like a good cause, but just in case, it's like they know that they had like subcontractors make the code, and they can't be faithful that it's not going to go on a rampage. Oh my god!
I just hope it doesn't interface with Skynet. The idea that this superhumanoid robot was born in the foothills of Sierra Nevada in the Northern California is an area extremely vulnerable to dangerous wildfires. A foundational pillar that the creator of the freaky-looking firefighting robot, his name's Bo G, said that it inspired him to go through his lifelong dream of building a robot about 4 years ago. So, although the idea of Three Halves dates back to 2022 and the project's website has been live for over a year, its explosive rise to internet fame caught Bo by surprise. Still, he understands why the robot's jaw-dropping appearance has captivated and unsettling so many people. I'm just kind of wondering if a defense contractor is going to come from like, hey, can you put weapons on it? You know, that's what's going to happen next, I think. Can this game carry an M2 Browning machine gun? You know, it's going to come up. Hey, what can we put a rocket launcher on this thing?
And now I'm just imagining like this thing standing there with like a machine gun at the top of his staircase, doing the whole like 20 Montoya thing, and like, say hello to my little friend.
So you got any cryptid news, Luffy?
There really has been much like concrete stuff. I saw talks about this sighting that happened in California, about like the same area that the Patterson film.
Oh, the Patterson Gimlin
took
film
place in?
area?
Yeah, it was like in that area, but when I kept looking for evidence, I kept coming up bunk. Like the best place that I looked never showed the footage. They only use like the AI sort of like s- slop stuff to
I
like
hate
show
that
what they're
because
describing.
it just makes the validity of the claim like harder to believe when you're using
Yeah.
AI slop
So
to try to
instead of
recreate
looking
an
at the
event.
actual footage, like the person was like describing it and like showing like AI footage. So it was disappointing. I'm gonna do some work to like track down this video because it sounds very interesting. Like from how he's talking, like the Bigfoot was like s- stalking a guy and then followed him to his cabin and was like basically like the whole that Ape Canyon incident, basically like that, but with one Bigfoot instead of a whole group of them.
So less danger. Does he know if it was a female Bigfoot? Because I know Patty from the Patterson Gimli film was a female Bigfoot.
I didn't hear any mention on if he knew the gender. I'll like I said, I'll have to check out, see if I can't find this video and see if we can't get a clear shot because it from the description it sounds like it's a pretty good shot of like the Bigfoot. So I'll have to track this video down. Like I said, like it happened pretty recently, so it's not really like really out there. It's only happened like a couple days ago, so it's not really out there and known right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Um,
been quite a bit of Bigfoot activity this summer. There's been
I know
multiple.
with like the fourth or no, it was a Memorial Day, like the teens on Memorial Day we talked about earlier, where they were like stalked and whistled at by the Bigfoot, all that.
Yeah, and then the one that you could track across Ohio, it was like multiple like 4 sightings in one day, and it was like, yeah, it was the same creature taking this path. It was pretty
Hmm.
interesting. I don't know if there's
Yeah.
something in the environment that's causing them to not come, be in hiding, or they're just becoming more bold around humanity.
I don't know. You know what would be another interesting take is like to try to see where these sightings are starting to take place and all these new data centers that are starting to like pop up. I wonder if they're like nearby and like the data centers where like all the electrical cables running around. I wonder if like just like the noise from the cable or the construction, like the hum and all of that. I wonder if that's like messing with them.
It would be pretty based if the Bigfoot started attacking the data centers. I'm just gonna put it out there, and hopefully
You
they
know what,
pick it up.
Bigfoot?
I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
wish. I
do it.
can wish it.
Yeah, but other than that, the real only news, like cryptid news I have is just I don't know if we would count yokai as cryptids, but
I would call them
it's
cryptid and adjacent because I see them as cousins to the Fae.
yeah, they're more like the paranormal things, kind of like ghosts and all that spirits. So but apparently Washington D.C. is having a yokai parade on the 10th, and is part of a like a traveling exhibit that's going around that's organized by the Japan Foundation. And they're going to Washington, D.C., and they're going to be like just doing a bunch of like parades and exhibits. And it says that they'll have like woodblock prints, scrolls, yokai films going on. And it's a free event. So if you're in that area and are like, oh, I like freaky stuff, go check out this
It's free. You
yokai
don't have an
exhibit.
excuse not to go. I kind of wonder if it's part of the delegation because I know they did a thing with Trump and they promised to plant more of their cherry blossom trees at Washington. So I don't know if that's part of this whole thing with that.
Yeah, and you have plenty of time to like check out this whole exhibit too, because it's going on from like August 10th to September 18th, which actually that ends right when Kyoto's big yokai festival starts. So yeah, so if you're in DC, go to the Japan embassy between August 10th and September 18th and check out all their freaky yokai stuff.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend would probably be a good time to go see it, man.
Mhm.
So, the Wonderland murders are one of Hollywood's most infamous unsolved crimes combining the adult film industry, organized crime, and cocaine trafficking. And one of the bloodiest mass murders in the Los Angeles area. At the center of the case is John Curtis Holmes, one of the biggest stars in the adult film industry during the 1970s. So, who's John Holmes for those who aren't familiar with this type of genre of films? John Holmes became famous in the 1970s as a star of Johnny Wad series of adult films. At his peak, he was one of the highest paid, most recognizable performers in the industry. So if you watched Boogie Nights, the character Derek Diggler, played by Marky Mark, was loosely based off of John Holmes. So by the late 1970s, however, his career collapsed because of heavy cocaine addiction, financial problems, increasing involvement with drug dealers and criminals, and reputation for being unreliable. So, rather than making most of his money off from films, he increasingly acted as a middleman in drug deals and associated with dangerous figures from the Los Angeles criminal underworld. The Wonderland Gang. So Holmes became closely associated with the Wonderland Gang, a group of cocaine dealers operating out of a townhouse on Wonderland Avenue in Laurel Canyon. Hey, we mentioned that before.
Shit, coming full circle.
Yeah. So the principal members included Ron Lanius, Billy DeVerrell, David Lind, Tracy McCourt, and Joy Miller. They were known for violent robberies and drug trafficking. The robbery of Eddie Nash. A few days before the murders, the Wonderland Gang robbed the home of Eddie Nash. Nash was a wealthy nightclub owner with alleged ties to organized crime and narcotics trafficking. According to investigators, Holmes had visited Nash's home several times shortly before the robbery. Authorities believe Holmes may have left a sliding door unlocked or otherwise provided information that made the robbery possible. The gang stole cash, jewelry, cocaine, and valuables worth hundreds of thousands, possibly over $1 million. Nash reportedly suspected Holmes was the guy who betrayed him. Now, there was murders. So the early morning of July 1st, 1981, several attackers entered the Wonderland Avenue townhouse. The victims were attacked with blunt weapons believed to be steel pipes or hammers. The people that were killed were Ron Lanius, Billy DeVerrell, Joy Miller, and Barbara Richardson. One victim, Susan Lanius, survived despite catastrophic head injuries, but suffered permanent memory loss, was never ever to identify the attackers. The crime scene was extraordinarily violent and shocked even experienced homicide detectives. So why was Holmes suspected? Well, investigators found Holmes' palm prints inside of the house near one of the victims. So the evidence suggested several possibilities: that he participated in the killings, that he accompanied the killers but not attack anyone, or he had been inside the house earlier and his print predated the murders. So there's no physical evidence establishing that he actually assaulted anyone. His own story that he gave multiple contradictory versions of events over the years. So among the stories attributed to him, that he wasn't there, he arrived after the murders, he was forced at gunpoint to accompany the killers, and he merely opened the door. Now these changing accounts damaged his credibility, and his wife's later statement said after he died in 1988, his estranged wife Sharon Holmes publicly claimed that he confessed to her that armed men forced him to lead them into the house. He unlocked and opened the door, and he watched as the victims were beaten. He did not personally strike anyone. So because this account emerged years later and could not be tested in court, historians generally treat it as significant but unverified evidence rather than proof. Here comes the trial. So Holmes was charged with 4 murders in 1982. The prosecutors argued that he willingly betrayed the Wonderland Gang. His defense argued that he had been kidnapped by Nash's associates, his life had been threatened, and he was forced to accompany the killers. After a 3-week trial, he was acquitted because prosecutors could not prove beyond the reasonable shadow of a doubt that he participated in the murders. He was, however, jailed briefly for contempt and refusing to cooperate with the investigation. Eddie Nash's later prosecution, years later, federal authorities revisited the case. Nash was eventually prosecuted under federal racketeering laws as part of a plea agreement that he admitted to. So racketeering, money laundering, and bribing the lone holdout juror in the earlier murder trial. He did not admit to ordering the Wonderland killings, but no one was ever convicted of the murders themselves. Now we'll get on to Holmes' death. So he died on March 13th, 1988 from complications related to AIDS at age 43. Shortly before his death, detectives attempted one last interview about the Wonderland murders, but he was too ill to provide useful information. So what do the investigators believe? Well, while the case remains unofficially unsolved, many investigators have long suspected that the murders were retaliation for the robbery of Eddie Nash. Nash's associates carried out the attack, and Holmes was present in some capacity. There was never been enough admissible evidence to prove that he participated in the actual killings. Now, exactly who wielded the murder weapons, whether Holmes was an unwilling witness or active accomplice, remains one of the enduring mysteries of the Los Angeles crime history. The case inspired the 2003 film Wonderland starring Val Kilmer, and the film uses multiple conflicting perspectives to reflect the uncertainty surrounding what really happened that night. So, was the murder linked to MK Ultra and Charles Manson? Well, the short answer is there is no credible evidence that the Wonderland murders were linked to MK Ultra or Charles Manson. The theories exist, but they rely largely on speculation, circumstantial associations, and conspiracy narratives rather than documented evidence. So here's how those claims developed. The Charles Manson connection was that there were some genuine, though indirect, overlaps between the worlds of the Manson family and the Wonderland case. Eddie Nash's social circle. Eddie Nash was a wealthy nightclub owner over whose homes and clubs attracted a wide range of people in Los Angeles nightlife and criminal underworld. Various accounts suggested that people associated with the Manson family or adjacent circles occasionally crossed paths with Nash's social network in the years after the Tate LaBianca murders. So, however, there was no verified evidence that Manson or his followers were involved in the Wonderland killings. What did John Holmes and Manson know about? So John Holmes moved in circles that overlapped with drug dealers, bikers, sex workers, and organized crime figures in Los Angeles. Those same broad circles sometimes intersected with former Manson associates during the 1950s, but an overlap in social networks is not evidence of a conspiracy or an operational relationship. Law enforcement investigated into the Wonderland, but did not identify Charles Manson or the Manson family as suspects. The MK Ultra theory. So this connection is much weaker. Sidney Gottlieb of the CIA's MK Ultra program, which officially ran from the early 1950s until it was halted in the early 70s. The program involved illegal experiments with LSD, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, other techniques intended to study behavior and interrogation. The people who proposed it, the Wonderland MK Ultra connection, usually point to several ideas that Los Angeles and Laurel Canyon have been subjects of conspiracy theories involving intelligence agencies. The Manson family had been the subject of speculation that intelligence agencies may have been monitored or manipulated some individuals around Manson. Holmes and many people involved in Wonderland were heavily cocaine users and led to speculation about the drug-related mind control and intelligence operations. However, none of these points to established a document connection to the Wonderland murders. So why people connect Manson and MK Ultra? Some authors have argued that Charles Manson himself may have had unexplained relationships with the authorities. Frequently cited questions include that why Manson repeatedly was released after arrested in 1969. Why did he spend time at the Haight-Ashbury Free Medical Clinic where government-funded LSD research had occurred? And what did his parole supervision usually was unusually laxed? Questions have fueled books and documentaries suggesting possible intelligence interest in Manson or people around him. However, the historians disagree sharply about what these facts mean. They may reflect bureaucratic failures, local law enforcement decisions, or a coincidence rather than a covert program. No declassification of CIA records demonstrate that Manson and MK Ultra asset or participant. So what other investigation concluded the prevailing view among homicide investigators, it's much more straightforward. The Wonderland gang robbed Eddie Nash of cash, cocaine, and valuables. Nash's associates were allegedly retaliated against. John Holmes was caught somewhere between both groups because he knew them both and believed to have facilitated the robbery. The murders were motivated by revenge or criminal disputes and not by an intelligence operation. The explanation is not supported by witness testimony, forensics evidence, and known relationships among people involved, even though the murders themselves remained officially unsolved. So the bottom line is the idea that the Wonderland murders were connected to MK Ultra or Charles Manson remained a conspiracy theory, while there's no real social geographic overlaps among some of the people and the places involved. There's no credible documentary or forensic evidence establishing that MK Ultra played a part in the murders, that Charles Manson was involved or planning to carry them out. Speaking of building an army of three halves to take out flock cameras, you can support our endeavors at tpublic.com/Atomic Shaman Trading Post, where you can buy some cryptid or cult parody swag. You can gain access to our Discord and meet others that enjoy true crime, the paranormal, cryptids, and weird news. You can also support the show on streamlabs.com/Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge /tip. You can PayPal me at paypalme/Atomic Shaman. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Atomic Shaman. And you can follow us on Instagram at Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge, or you can write us at Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge at ProtonMail. mail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook. We're back on Facebook, and we've only been back for a week, and we're already almost up to 100 followers. I think after that 100 follower mark, we can start streaming content on Facebook. So you can do your part and help us out by following us there. We also post esoteric and unhinged schizophrenic memes on there as well if you're into that shit. And with that, we'll go on a little break, and we'll be back in 10 minutes.
Broadcasting radio, the eyesight television, the Frankenstein earphone radio, the threshold brainwash radio, the latest new skull reforming.
Down the rabbit hole and stick it up the snail's ass.
They might be shape-shifting right before you open the door.
Has the EEG machine turned on you? Throw a digital demon into your food. This is how they alter the DNA. I remember it. I never said that I was. I remember it. I was the things we had. I remember it.
1500 BC. The first warning appear in the Hebrew Bible. Do not give your children to Moloch. In Canaan, they worship a god of fire. He demanded no gold, only their children. In the valley of Hinnom, kings offer their sons. Then comes Carthage in 700 BC. The city thrives. Beneath its temples, Moloch rises again. When war looms, the fires are lit. Priests chant, drums beat. Children are placed in bronze arms, burned alive. In 146 BC, during the Third Punic War, the Romans find urns, charred bones. They are horrified. They burn Carthage to the ground. But Moloch survives. His name appears across centuries. Phoenicia, Moab, Sicily, even Jerusalem. Archaeologists dig up the truth. Thousands of infant remains. Altars, inscriptions, tophets. Some say that the sacrifice never ended.
Those who ran the Soviet Union had believed that they could plan and manage a new kind of socialist society. But they had discovered that it was impossible to control and predict everything, and the plan had run out of control. But rather than reveal this, the technocrats began to pretend that everything was still going according to plan. And what emerged instead was a fake version of the society. The Soviet Union became a society where everyone knew that what their leaders said was not real, because they could see with their own eyes that the economy was falling apart. But everybody had to play along and pretend that it was real, because no one could imagine any alternative. One Soviet writer called it hyper-normalization. You were so much a part of the system that it was impossible to see beyond it. The fakeness was hyper-normal.
Yeah, check this out, though.
Wait, what is that?
That's from a good time, let me tell you. You want to smell it?
I can't tell if you're cool or not right now. I don't know.
Oh, I'm cool as shit, buddy. Dolphin Daff High Five.
Dolphin Daff High Five. Yes.
You want some?
Always. Wait, we're here on the same kind of mode, aren't we?
It's made for finches, but humans can drink it too.
Finland?
Finches.
That's where you're from, Finland.
No, it's tuna juice. And it's made for finches, but humans can drink it too. You want to taste?
I'm a commercial fisherman.
Yeah.
Tuna's my thing to fish for, but like, what is this?
It's carbonated tuna juice. It's made for finches, but humans can drink it too.
Hey, people from Finland are humans too.
No, it's made for finches. Finches.
No, that's delicious.
Finches. It's made for finches, but humans can drink it too. It's a little bird. I have 10 of them.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's tuna juice, and it's made for finches, but humans can drink it too. Try this again. Can you smell it?
Is that?
No.
You're not selling me a product right now, are you?
Of course not. I would never. It's got 69 calories. 69.
Wait, what beers the facts mean?
That's the company it comes from.
So there is alcohol.
There could be. Here, try this again. Yeah.
Yeah, where'd that come from? Well, you're the best salesman I've ever met.
That came from my old lady. I got 2 buckets of sardine paste in the trunk of my Accord if you want to meet me out there and dunk your head in it with me. Huh?
Wait, with you?
Yeah.
Is this really happening?
It's really happening.
I can't tell if you're gay or a salesman. I'm not sure. Are you a gay salesman?
You ever have pickled sphincter? Huh?
I'll eat that ass.
Oh, yeah. How's that?
It's weird because that one's better than that one. What's
Yeah?
your name?
Brenna. Yeek! Try this again.
It smells like your juice.
So you gonna meet me out there or what?
Please?
Yeah.
Where?
Out in the parking lot. We'll get real weird, real wild.
No, I can already tell. I can
Yeah?
already tell. You're like the dude I met on Craigslist when I was 17.
Yeah? How old was he?
I don't even want to say. I can't tell if you're about to beat my ass or not.
No homo.
What do you drive?
A 2000 Honda Accord, and there's 2 buckets of sardine paste in there.
I don't want the sardine paste.
One for you, one for me. We'll dunk our heads in it.
Look at all this.
Yeah?
Let's go.
All right, follow me.
Now, another strange claim our whistleblowers make is that our moon holds many secrets.
We had launched surveying missions so we could be looking at where we were going to land, and we had seen facilities, ancient facilities on the moon. So we knew there were facilities on the backside. We knew a whole lot that people didn't talk about.
The DMZ on the dark side of the moon has a lot of bases that belong to a lot of different ET species.
It sounds absurd, right? Yet certain objects found in photos from NASA and other space agencies of strange objects that stand out from the lunar surface definitely don't look natural. However, alien bases sound completely tame when compared to this next moon revelation.
What is the moon? What is the moon? What is the moon? It's not a natural object. It's an unnatural object.
Our moon's artificial, completely artificial. It was brought here from Ursa Minor, apparently between 11 and 12,000 years ago.
For the purpose
of being a satellite in a base.
This moon is not a moon. It's not your moon in the first place.
It is older than the Earth. There are ruins all over it. There are bases underneath it.
Hi, my name's Jessica. I'm 29 years old. I'm looking for my bachelorette. If you're interested, you could contact me on JPay. My IDOC is 110013. Have a good day.
Hi, my name's Melissa Hernandez, and I'm in prison and I have 11 months. And I'm looking to meet new people. I'm very interesting. I'm down for anything. So add me on JPay. My IDOC number is 142520.
Hi, I'm Jean Kelly of Kelly Law Associates, and I'm here to tell you that I can get you off. I can legally get shit. Car accidents, tax evasion, minor genocide, it's all the same to me. Some might look at a man and see a husband who brutally murdered his wife and then kept her body in the trunk of his car for 3 weeks. But I see a man who just didn't know how to play tennis right and accidentally hit his wife with a tennis racket 36 times, and to keep her body warm, put her in the back of his Camry. Public masturbation? More like government exacerbation. I graduated top of my class at the University of Phoenix. Kind of. Just remember, I am the law, and I will get you off. Having a divorce, your kids don't love you anyway.
Do you miss that old school vibe? Mad Scribe magazine is dedicated to reviving the classic gaming and pop culture experience. Inside every issue, you'll find exclusive interviews with some of the biggest names in tabletop gaming. There are game reviews, adventures, indie comics, cosplay pinups, short stories, and a whole lot of attitude. It's like a love letter to your weird, geeky youth. Grab a copy in print or PDF wherever books are sold. Mad Scribe magazine, old school heart, new school hustle. With Mad Scribe, every issue is a critical success.
Like, share, subscribe, and be sure to check the notification bell. Follow the Atomic Shaman on Twitter at Motel and RV Park. Listen to Paranormal Green Text Stories on Atomic Shaman TTS on YouTube. Catch the live streams of Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge only on Rumble.
All right. All right, and we're back from our commercial break. Hey, Luffy, you got some poll data for us?
I do. Let me get the first one. Alright, so which is the more caked up cryptid? The Loveland Frogman or Appalachia's Frogman? Or Mothman. Wow, Frogman, Mothman. Wow, what a slip of the tongue there. But 64% said the Frogman, and 36% said Mothman.
I mean, they're
In
both
my opinion,
they're both caked up, and the statue of the Mothman, like, people are always shoving dollar bills in his ass crack, and recently someone has added a tramp stamp to it, so I think that's pretty funny.
No.
yeah, they're always telling. Yeah, they're always. I mean, I don't know why they're always abusing the Mothman like that, but yeah, they're always shoving money in his ass crack.
I would say the Mothman, because, like, of all the pictures of frog butts that I've seen, because you'll see those little pictures surface on the internet, the frogs have, like, Hank Hill ass, but, like, that Mothman photo, he's packing some bakery right there. So I would say Mothman.
Yeah, I've seen one of the Loveland Frogman, and it's an older pic, and I can't find it anymore because he was looking very caked up as well. But I there's the one I showed, like, there was a little bit of ass you see, but not so much as this one image I'm trying to find. This I don't know why they depicted that way. It almost looked like one of those, what's his name, R. Crumb, the artist who did the Tijuana Bibles. It looked like his style of art, but he drew.
Huh.
Yeah, like that's what it looked like,
Nice. Well, next poll. Due to recent viral fame of Jimothy the raccoon, is he a cryptid? 53% said yes, and he ate my trash. 29% said no, he's a mutant. 12% take your meds, schizo. And 6% said define cryptid. You know what? I would agree with the define cryptid people, because, like, when does something transform into, like, an urban legend, or like something like Jimothy where he's, like, there, and when does it transform into a cryptid? I would say it becomes a cryptid once there's, like, some tales of encounters of, like, maliciousness or weird things.
I mean, people are already encountering it, and the photos aren't blurry, so that's proof of his existence. There's more proof of his existence than Bigfoot.
There is. Oh.
I mean, I did a joke with the first question, because, like, there's a hat that says Bigfoot is real and he ate my ass, so that's why I said Timothy is real. He ate my trash. That's why I did that. But I think the people unanimously believe he's a cryptid, because you can only see him in Seattle, but,
Yeah, he's very localized. And I'm sure, like, once we get, like, years down the line, when Timothy's kind of gone, and, like, there's a little bit of, like, telephone game that happens with it, and, like, some of the tails start becoming taller and taller, I'm sure he'll transform into, like, a legit cryptid. But, like, right now, I would say, he's a mutant.
Or a family of mutants.
Yes. Hey, last poll. Was the recent mass shooting in Twin Falls, Idaho, another psyop against the Chuds? 50 said yes, expect more. 33% said no, just a coincidence. And 17% said take your meds schizo. Which there's been quite a few shootings. I'm spacing on this one that happened in Twins Falls.
This one happened last Sunday. There was a guy who shot up an In-N-Out Burger. And I've heard conflicting reports on who the shooter is, so I don't want to get into that. Our guest, colleague Combatives, is supposed to talk more about it because...
Is this the one where the dude was stopped by the cowboy hat wearing silenced pistol wielder?
Yeah, so the guy used like a 5.7 round. It was like an unusual round to as everyday carry because it's one of those special snowflake rounds that cost a lot. It's pretty big gun, pretty good size, But like I said, our firearms expert isn't here to talk about it more. We should have 2 more polls, Luffy.
I am scrolling down after that. I don't see any after the Twin Falls.
You get scroll up more. You got 2 more that we missed.
I see. I see the Tulpa and the erotic asphyxiation. Okay. The whole timing thing made me get messed up. I didn't know what date we were starting on the polls. So, how did Senator... Wow, it is not my date to be literate. Okay. My brain cells are turned off. Okay. How did Senator Lindsey Graham really die? 33% said erotic asphyxiation. 27% AIDS. Another 27% said heart attack, specifically from Mossad. And 13% said a Russian cruise missile. Lindsey Graham, I would say, because knowing him, yeah?
They were saying that he was supposedly in Ukraine visiting like a weaponized drone factory. Mm-hmm. And there was a closed casket funeral. So people were speculating the Russians accidentally killed him, not knowing he was there touring this facility. And because they don't want the, war to spill out, they were saying diplomatic things, calling the White House, hey, we accidentally killed your dude. We didn't know he was touring the factory kind of thing, and like a back channel thing to prevent U.S. from getting involved, directly. Because that's like an act of war, killing a senator with a missile. So a lot of people don't buy the official story.
I don't either. Something weird. Like, I'm going between, like, now that you explain it, that he was, like, over in Ukraine, touring some facilities, either the Russian cruise missile or the erotic asphyxiation. Because if he has, like, all that bruising around the neck and all that, then I can see him doing kind of like a closed casket a bit. But also, yeah, Russian cruise missile, yeah. I would say he was doing the whole chokey jerky in the Ukrainian facility when he got hit by that cruise missile.
He was probably using one of those drones in an unattended way,
Yeah, he was asking one of the Ukrainian kids if he wanted to see his ladybugs.
All right. And our final poll.
Okay. Due to being spotted at multiple locations is...
La Llorona.
Why? La Llorona? Yeah, there you go. Thank you. It's one of those weird names. La Llorona Atolpa instead of a spirit. And, wow, we have quite the, I want to say we have quite the ignorant audience because 67% said, what's a tulpa? 33% said, she's a busy spirit. And then no one says she's a tulpa, and no one told you to take your meds.
Yeah, I think we'll have to educate the masses on what a tulpa is. Every now and then we bring this up because so many people see something that, well, maybe it's not a phenomenon. Maybe we're psychically creating it, and we'll get more into that. What is a tulpa?
Yeah, tulpas were like a huge thing in the Tumblr community back in like the early 2010s, I want to say.
That's like a whole thing on 4chan // because guys were trying to mentally manifest a waifu. It's between those guys trying to mentally manifest a waifu out of their thoughts and trying to summon a succubus, for a girlfriend. That's
I
like,
would say don't do that because I've never heard of like a manifest spirit being nice.
I mean, either way, I don't think it's going to end well from someone who's trying to do either one for a girlfriend or a waifu.
Nope.
So next episode we're gonna have a guest coming on. So you've seen the commercials for Mad Scribe games that we are always shielding. So they have a tabletop RPG coming out, and it's based on aliens. It's got aliens, it's got reptilians, it's got all sorts of shit that's right up our, what we're into, like UFOs. We don't know the specifics of the game. They made an announcement. We don't know when it's coming out, but they have agreed to an interview, so they're going to tell us about themselves and this game and what kind of system they use. I think it's going to be a great show to check out. I'm really excited.
It sounds really good. It's got like the nerd stuff that we like.
Yeah, so it's, if you like independent guys, because Wizards of the Coast have been dropping the ball, support these guys. I think indie's the way to go. Wizards of the Coast was trying to take this older property like Dark Sun. It was really great how they incorporated it back in the day. They're trying to bring it back, but they failed miserably at it. So there's a lot of people attacking them for the horrible execution of it. And with that, we'll go ahead and play us out, and we'll see you again after this White Boy Summer comes to a conclusion. It's almost spooky season, guys, and I'm already seeing advertisements for really cool Halloween gifts. There's something like it's like a bath mat, and when you step on it, it looks like it looks white, but when you step on it, it looks like blood splatters on it. It's really cool looking. I've been seeing some other stuff where you get these bats and they got LEDs and you just hang them up all over the place. But with that, dude, I think this will be a good Halloween with all the new stuff coming out that looks really cool for decorations. You got anything you want to tell the audience, Luffy, before we cut off?
I would say lurk more, learn what a tulpa is, and don't summon them.
All right, with that, we're ending the show.
Homie, watch out. The feds are plotting now, they knocking like they locked out. Not now, I'm busy. Your door get knocked down, drop trial, showing y'all the proper way to rock out. I know how this goes, looking through the crystal. Everybody hates me and it's every day the list grows. Beat around the bush, yeah. I learned to tiptoe and stand against an army, plugging barrels with the pick rows. Look at who they follow, look at who you follow. If you want me, you can find me at the bottom of the bottle, in the corner of the room, or on the moon like Apollo. For fuck's sake, the earth is not flat, it's hollow, and there's Nazis in it. Shit, if that's true, you're probably gonna find me in it, vibing while we fry Hasidics, ashes in the sky's the limit. I'm just rhyming with it. This is my demented mind, and y'all just climbed up in it. Every now and then I can get retarded. People nowadays just getting me started. You don't like it, you can beg my pardon. Come and watch the world burn at my party. Every now and then I can get retarded. People nowadays just getting me started. You don't like it, you can beg my pardon. party. Come and watch the world burn at my party. Coming proper with the grammar, you bet I know who they is. But recognizing patterns nowadays is fucking dangerous. Just ask Trevor Noah, he could tell your heads are rolling. It's bloody paradise like a bunch of dead Samoans. Join me on the balcony, you niggas gotta see this shit. I crossed the line like fucking Trump in North Korea, bitch, yo. LA's on fire. Won't somebody get the chief on the wire? Nope. Cause don't nobody care. I fucking love the smell of burning plastic in the air. I could not have fucked. I found the first mosque and shot it up. Rolled down the window in the truck and yelled Muhammad sucks. Ooh, I'm so edgy I just cut myself. Bitch, I never leave the damn crib if I could fuck myself. Call me all them names, go ahead, it's the basics. I drop these bars and hit the bar up in the spaceship. Every now and then I can get retarded. People nowadays just getting me started. You don't like it, you can beg my pardon. Come and watch the world burn at my party. Every now and then I can get retarded. People nowadays just getting me started. You don't like it, you can beg my pardon. Come and watch the world burn at my party.